So Ghana's Black Galaxies managing a 3-1 victory there. It came at a cost, like I said, a 3-year ban, a straight red card, missing out. Looks like Ghana might just qualify, but it will be properly confirmed when the rest of our group members take on each other tomorrow. Madagascar will be up against Sudan in that game, I believe, and then we'll know exactly what the group looks like. Possibly Ghana might come up against Mozambique, but yet to be confirmed. But coach, 3-1 win, Barnier out, captain out. I don't know how to feel about this tournament. It's mixed feelings for me so far, but what sort of sense are you making out of everything, I mean, as things stand now?
Okay, so to be very sincere, I am not convinced about the team. Our performances in the two games, the one we lost and the one we won, still not convincing at all. We just watched the Algerians. You said they are on a one-goal project. They are playing proper tournament football. That is what you call tournament football. You don't need more than a goal to win football games. So as it stands, they score, they know they are home and dry. If you look at the manner in which we are playing as a team, we've got serious issues. And as the tournament progresses, it's going to get even more difficult. Our players are not showing true character. Now we'll be going to the next game without the talisman of the team, the one who makes the team thick. Anytime this team has been in a very difficult situation, it has taken a free Barnier to get everybody on board, resurrect the team, and get the team to progress. In the qualifying series, we saw it. When it matters most, in the game against Sudan, we saw him come to the party. Before the tournament, I've always said that I believe our strongest weapon is the technical team. They didn't impress me in the first game. They impressed me a bit in the second game. But again, the manner in which that game was managed, I'm referring to the game against Sudan, got me worried. Believe you me, the Sudanese equalized the goal. We were lucky for that goal.
Was it the one where he pushed the defender?
He didn't push our defender. Our defender was virtually struggling to have a touch on the ball. That shouldn't be the sort of push that should put the size of our defender onto the table.
Well, Coach, do you remember, just to remind you, the first Arsenal-Man U game, isn't that, remember something similar happened when Arsenal scored?
VAR came back and said that was a mistake. So that, look, on any other day, that goal should have stood. But having said that, look at the saves Danla had to make when it was 2-1. At the time when we were leading, we needed to manage, we needed to keep a very compact shape and wait for a goal. We knew the Sudanese would come desperate to come and equal. So keep your shape and go and punish them. We had no tactical shape. The game was stretched from end to end. Anytime they picked the ball, anytime the Sudanese picked the ball, you could clearly see that there were openings in between our team waiting to be slaughtered. You can't do this against the Senegalese, not against the Malians, not against the Algerians, not against the Ivorians. We'll get beat.
And if Morocco were here.
And if Morocco were here, we would have been in big, big trouble. But having said that, with Coach Anaoka and Prosper Agum, I will be shocked if I see that this same level of defending in the next game. Because you bear with me, I've always highlighted the problem in our centre-back pair. Look at the first goal we considered against Sudan. As if we had no centre-back.
There was the defense didn't exist.
The partner to Kunedu Yado, what's the name? The champion in number 4 set. I always do forget it. He was completely drawn out of position. Chasing shadows. Instead of him staying in his position to see.
I think it's Randolph you're talking about.
No, Randolph. Randolph was the right fullback who messed up in the first half. But in the first
You mean Kunedu's partner?
Yeah, Kunedu's partner at centre back. I think that is a huge problem. And this team, the technical team have done something that I completely disagree with. The fact that they've decided to bench their first choice DM, the one who shields the back four. Even when we had Mo Alassane and Kunedu Yadom, a pair we thought to be very solid. I don't know why I've forgotten his name too. That guy provided them proper cover. Rather, he's been benched. And the one in front of them is not convinced. His ball distribution is absolutely shambolic. We can only hope that in the absence of a free Barnier, somebody would take up the challenge. That person, in my view, cannot be and shouldn't be and will not be Kofi Koji. Because his output is very, very bad. Extremely very bad. I had problems with him being in the team because I thought that there's a boy from Brecum Chelsea, there's a boy from Bechem who are doing fantastically well in our league. They should have been given the chance to be at the tournament. But rather Kofi Koji, who hasn't done anything significant in our local league, is rather there. We are going to be meeting, I hear, either a second place team or so. I'll have to go and look at the permutations again. If Ebo can put that together and project.
Looks more likely like we'll play Mozambique based on how things are now.
Mozambique, and that is coming
something
from
drastic happens.
From the Algerian group or the Senegal's group. One of these. And they are a very good team. They are a very, very good team. Like I said, this team, I thought that a quarterfinal berth would be fantastic for them. Whatever they are showing is a perfect reflection of our league. It's just that we've gone to Hearts of Oak, we've gone to Kotoko, we've gone. But it's like if the Hearts of Oak players don't score, we don't have any other team players scoring. That is a worry. And this team has gone through from the qualifiers all the way to the tournament. It has to stop. And the technical team will have to now pass on the responsibility to some other players in it. Because we are going to the stage where there'll be no second chance. Everything will have to be sorted out. So we wait and see. I just hope that.
Okay, so I think the person you're talking about is Insobila.
Insobila.
The DM you're talking about.
Yes. He's got decent presence. Very tall, big, very mobile, very combative. That is why. See, this game, most of the game is about physicality. If you bench Insobila and you bring in somebody who cannot pass the ball, who is always thinking to pick the most difficult passes, breaking down the chemistry of the team, that has to be problematic. And for me, look, Ano cannot disappoint you. Prosper Ogum cannot disappoint. Some of them are hearing that after the tournament, Ano will be put aside and Ogum will be given the team on a full-time basis. When that time comes, we'll talk about it. But Ano Walker in particular cannot disappoint. But look, having said that, he's doing a decent job. The quality of the football we are playing in this country, I think top 10, top 15 in Africa, it will not be part. Yes. Because when you watch, I've watched the other games. Have you watched the Senegalese? Have you watched the Malians? Look, scintillating stuff. Proper football, proper movement, proper passing, proper technique. Everything absolutely spot on. So let's see how far they can go. Anything beyond the quarterfinals, I think it to be massive, massive bonus. And I will salute Ano Walker if he can get this team to the semi-finals of this tournament. The quarterfinals, in my view, will be a decent outing for them.
Interesting thoughts there. Just finish off for me, Susu. I mean, you've seen 2 games so far from the Galaxies. We've seen what they've been like in terms of trying to score. We've seen what they've been like trying to defend. What do you make realistically of our chances?
No, coach is right. The team is not. They are not getting things through structure. They are getting the goals and the results here and there. But when you look at the goals you scored this tournament, how many have come through structure? You look at the first one, was the cross that kind of was overhit and caught the keeper by surprise when we lost to Madagascar. You look at the goal from the kind of, it was a set piece and it kind of bounced around.
Wicked deflection.
Then we get the penalty. Fair enough, you have to be in the box to win the penalty. But that was more Afriye Barnier's brilliance to kind of run at his marker.
They even messed up the chance. If you look at the situation,
he was almost falling down.
They were crashing into each other, he and his teammates.
So we win that penalty. Then the last goal, I mean, they are pushing forward and we kind of get them on the counter. So when you look at our goals, you can't see a clear pattern in what we are trying to do. And I always say, for me, when I watch a team and they are scoring goals and they are winning, how are they scoring their goals? Is it set pieces? Because set pieces are a strategy. It's a viable strategy to say you are going to score from set pieces. That's fine. How are you scoring from set? Is it that you have a near post run you are doing? Are you confused? Because the goal we scored from a set piece is not. It's not something I'll say was well worked.
No.
The ball dropped and we got lucky. Are you crossing the ball to? Are you doing cutbacks? Are you using your wings? Are you playing through the middle? Are you playing on the count? When you look at our goals, you can't see a clear pattern in how we are trying to play to get the goals. And that's what worries me. Then when you look at our defending, that goal Sudan scored was excellent.
Wow. Yep.
They just played to us. They just played to. I saw the goal. I was thinking to myself, wow. And you look.
One of the best goals at the tournament, actually.
It was interesting because I was looking at our team. I looked at Sudan. I thought Sudan were probably going to win the game, and I think a good indicator of how a game is viewed is when you look at the kind of betting markets. And it looked like Ghana were favorites. I was thinking to myself, this is a bit odd because what I know about this Sudan team is this is as close to a national team as you can get. Probably about 70-80% of their players play for the main national team.
Yep.
And when you think about our Black Stars national team, Dan Lad went to the World Cup because our keepers were injured. Let's be frank. Dan Lad is 4th or 5th choice keeper for the Black Stars. So Barnier was the only Ghanaian Premier League player who got into the Black Stars on his own merit, you can say. And even coach might argue that Joseph Painso should have had that place, maybe.
Yep. But not in place of Barney. I think in place of Isawaku. There's no way Isawaku.
You get what I'm saying? So you can argue that maybe he doesn't deserve his place in the. But so when you look at the quality of the Ghana Premier League players and how we are using them for the Black Stars, they don't come close to what we usually take for the Black Stars, which in itself is a concern. But we'll talk about that later. So everything about this game was very surprising that Ghana were considered favorites and stuff. They delivered in the end. But when you look at the performance itself, I think Sudan's finishing and Dan Lad were the two things that won us that game. Because Sudan had some interest. There was one where they got, I don't know if you remember, they got some open goal and they just blasted it over.
And there was one, all the guy needed to do was to tap it, but Dan Lad gave him the eye and then he just blocked it. And there was no defense. No defense.
Yeah, so like, when you look at these things, the result, we've gotten the result. We'll probably qualify because of the fact that we betted our Madagascar results. I think unless Sudan win like 3-2 or 4-3, something like that, before we'll go home. So there's some complicated permutations, but I look at all of that. I'm just thinking to myself, this team does not look. I agree with Coach. We don't look good. Like if we had won the Sudan game 3-1 and see that we are playing football, we are carving them open, we are creating chances. Because almost like the 3 chances we got, we scored. I don't know if I can't recall us creating very strong opportunities regularly, and that's a big concern. Because we are not defending well either. And like Coach said, either you defend well or you attack well in the tournament. But if you don't do either, you are not going to go far.